This Sim Racing Stewards episode is sponsored by Squarespace. More about that at the end of the video. Not much is going to happen outside the contact. I have no idea what happened there. Oh, handbrakes on the in. Look at that. Rock. Oh my god. Ass. This is how pros do their sound checks. Anyway, hello guys. Jamble here. Welcome back to another video. And it's time for more Sim Racing Stewards. You guys should know the format by now, but if you don't, basically I go through the Sim Racing Stewards subreddit. Some Sim Racing Stewards. Basically, we scroll through the Sim Racing Stewards subreddit and pass judgment and try and learn a little bit along the way. The more you know. Let's get to it. First up, we have a clip from I'm Pretending to Care. At least he's honest. Saying, whose fault is this? Looks like we have TCR cars at Montreal. Let's see what the crack is. So we're going down towards the hairpin. We're on the outside in the base Honda Civic. A guy in the TCR car comes across in front, swipes across us. Yeah, that's a fat swipe, my guy. That's a very, very late change of direction. I mean, realistically, at that point, you are ahead, so I mean, if you're going to be technical, you can kind of take the line, but then don't be upset when you then slam on the brakes in front of a guy who's not expecting you to be there to get then fired off. So I'm going to say this guy in front sort of made his own demise. But this guy's the real MVP. Appears on the inside with no incident taking both places. What a king. He went for a fucking long way, didn't he? Oh, right. This is called Going Free Wide is always going to end poorly. Corvette Le Mans moment. But who, if anyone, is at fault for this mess? Well, we've got 3 screens at once here, so let me just unlock my third eye, and we'll get right in. What am I watching? Who's going where? Okay, so we're going to watch it on the Alpha Tauri one because we can see the free wide coming up here. We have McLaren on the outside. Looks like a Williams in the middle. We go for the dive, we're late on the brakes. Now, what the Alpha Tauri did here is, I've already noticed this, he's braked and then released. And people do this a lot, I've noticed, when they're not really committed to a move 100%. They brake, see they're still alongside and go, right, I'm going to release a little bit. And I haven't seen what's happening here, but I'm going to take a stab and say this Alpha Tauri isn't going to quite make the corner. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm going to say this is on the Alpha Tauri in this situation because these cars are going to make it through the corner side by side, but this guy here, I mean, like, where's his exit? His exit's here. He's not turning anywhere near the corner. So, although it seems like an AI situation, I would place the blame solely on the Alpha Tauri here. That's a fucking weird one. And now there's 4 screens. Nope, can't deal with this. Bat Potato asks, who's at fault here? We're back at Montreal. I think this was actually this week. Big lunge into the hairpin, very, very late on the brakes. Made it work around the outside. Still on the outside. AMG's going to know he's there by now. We're sticking to the left. A little bit closer side by side. Now, they're both very much aware each other's there at the moment, so I'm hoping... okay, so you can see a problem here. The BMW is already turning in to take this little mini apex here, and the AMG is still here. He's still here. So I'd say that's actually on the BMW for not giving the racing room there. Like, the guy's still there. It's a flat-out section. You can't expect him to lift out here. That's just like you're being a bit unreasonable there. And there is technically space there, but like there's no need to squeeze him this much at this point. You can squeeze him a bit later on. You know, you've got the drive out the corner. You're actually putting away a little bit here. So this little moment here was unnecessary, and I'd say I'd put it on the BMW. It's just not very sensible to be doing that. The thing is, it's marginal though. It isn't like I've done that on purpose. It's just, again, spatial awareness seems to be the theme today. Guys, look around you. You're not the only person on the circuit. You shits. This is from 3 hours ago from Simmons. Good to see people are really interacting with this subreddit. It's really nice to see how active it is. Should the white car back out of this more, or did the green car not leave enough space? Was a collision going to happen next left hand if a spin didn't happen given line and speed? What the f... Right, let's just have a look at the incident. You're on the outside. Green's on the inside. A little bit of contact with both, and yeah, we spin. Let's have a look again. So to be honest, it looks like a little bit of a racing incident, and this is where like netcode is a bit weird in iRacing. Like, so if this contact was made in real life, the car would sort of just do this, and you bonk out, and you might have a little bit of movement as a green car, but you wouldn't get sort of stuck. This guy's got stuck, the wheels have got stuck together here, you see, and then like, they come back together again, and because the guy is further along and hits the front end, and the car's still going straight, then that contact is made, and the green car is sent into the wall there. This is a racing incident. 1,000,000% a racing incident. There's nothing really that can be done here, I don't think. Because, I mean, we're holding our line. They're holding their line. It's a frustrating one, especially if you're leading, but sometimes these incidents just sort of, they can just happen. Oh, we've got a Project Cars one from 18 hours ago. We've got a couple of these, actually. This is from Tunatastic. Badly judged by me or over-the-line defense? Let's have a look. Oh, we've got old Monza in Indy cars, of course. In my opinion, you just drove into the back of him there. So this guy goes up the inside. This guy then, he does move a little bit, doesn't he? But not a lot. And this guy sort of panics and doesn't get round there. The thing is, right, is when you're following someone at this speed, that sort of move does make a difference. Like when I used to drive the LMP1s a lot, GT's making a tiny little correction like that, and your brain goes, okay, he's coming over, I'm going to move a different direction. Then he moves back again because he's seen you there, and it's all one big, terrible mess. In this case, I really think there was room to go around the outside here. The car's grippy. You know, you can see by the way it moves here. You have grip in the car. So, like, why didn't you... I mean, you had the option to back out as well. You had the option to go around the outside. I mean, you did just drive into the back of him. I don't know. I'd say it's on this guy. Yeah, for the reason that while the guy did move a tiny bit in front of you, you still had ample space to go to the left or to slow down, and you did neither of those and chose to pin the throttle into the back of him. And who's at fault here? Apparently some pit entry shenanigans here. Let's have a look.
Hairpin right. Oh, the fucking way, you bollocks.
The problem is, and this is just a problem really with Watkins Glen, is that this guy is clearly slowing to take the pits. There's nothing in iRacing regulations to say that you have to go in here. There's nothing to say. In real life, I think they would enforce that a bit harder because things like this happen. But if you're experienced with driving this circuit and driving this type of racing, you'll know that he's slowing down, so he's going into the pit lane. This guy kind of doesn't really acknowledge that and just sort of drives through him there. But it's a tough one because this is where iRacing regulations maybe need to change a bit, and it's hard to change them. I'm not sure how. I mean, like, maybe you'd have to signal your intention to pit to be able to pit, but in that case, then, you know, that's not going to count for any sort of incidents. But the typical thing iRacers tend to do here, and I do it as well, is that you come, like, you basically take this corner almost normally and then sweep in and get a nice straight line brake into the pits, because the brake, the timing line, the pit limiter line is here. And in a prototype car, you're carrying so much speed through there that if you then try braking, you're either going to lock up, make a mistake, or just speed. So it's a tough one. I think really, in reality, that this rule needs to change. People coming into the pits. But also, if you're the guy behind, you know, usually you're responsible. You saw the guy slowing down, you didn't slow down. So, yeah, it's a toughie, that one. The rule needs to change, I think. Who's at fault? I'm the white Red Bull. And as a rule, by the way, I have, if anyone in any series outside of Formula 1 is running an F1 livery, avoid those motherfuckers. Right? They all think they're fucking Max Verstappen or Fernando Alonso. Let's see if Max is at fault here. There's a guy in front, he's going to slow run up the hill. Ah, yeah. Okay, that's on the 13. F1 liveried car, you are safe this time. So I don't know if this is intentional or not, but the guy's gone off. He sees that we're moving left. He then moves left. So that, for me, is like a big no-no. That's a big intentional block. And at this speed difference, it's super dangerous. That would be enough for a protest for me just there. We then go right, and he follows right to try and block us. So yeah, this is massively on this guy. This is one of the things... This is something that you could get a temper ban for, I think. You're weaving to crash into someone at this point. I think that we find that, and this isn't to say the racing is worse or better in any game, but in games like F1 2021 and online stuff like that, and sort of the more casual console-based racers, there isn't really any kind of consequence for doing shit like this. Like in F1 2021, doesn't matter, you know. Oh, I got a penalty, fuck it, I'll quit and do another race, doesn't matter. In this, iRacing's a bit more structured around like sort of the long-term driving experience. So, you know, there's driver rating in the form of iRating. There's safety rating as well. There's no fucking about. You got to at least try and take it semi-seriously. And this is an example of that not happening. That was a very long rant by me there. Yes. This is called Mercked Blame Me for This. Let's have a look. So we're at Catalonia. You've made your one move. You've gone back to your racing line. You now can't move again. You've moved again. Yep, that's your fault. Easy. 1,000,000% your fault. So again, one defensive move, then back to your line, I think is fine. One defensive move, back to your line. You will now have to stay there. You cannot move again. And yeah, guess what? You do, and it's a big move last second while the guy's got DRS. That's super irresponsible, and again, in real life, you would get a massive penalty for that. Oh, guys, we have a Baku crash. Let's check it out. On board with an AlphaTauri. Coming up behind a McLaren, there's a guy on our right-hand side. Squeezes through, bit rude, but okay, that's fine. Now going into T1. Very late break. Oh, fucking hell.
Hello there.
F1 knee grace moment. Okay, and the car now, we're still going, apparently. Now, if I was the Mercedes, I'd feel fairly aggrieved by that, because that was a bit of a lunge. Mercedes could have maybe given a bit more room, though. Again, car was there. You have to acknowledge when cars are there. So we already know this guy's going to make a bit of a dodgy move here. Let's have a look into the inside. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you sort of got what you deserve there, I think. I'm going to double check that one again, or the T1 again, to make sure of that, but it kind of feels like karmic justice. I don't know. It's not as cut and dry as I thought. We're braking, and you are alongside in the braking zone, and you're there for a little while. The guy does sort of turn like you're not there. That's actually a tough one. Yeah, I'm going to say the Merc could have been more aware you were there, because he did sort of turn in like you were not there. But also, like, where are you going? Like, where's the AlphaTauri going at this point? Like, you're either going to stop on this apex, and somehow, and by that point, like, you're going to be contact anyway, or you're going straight over, because you're spearing out here. The Mercedes is at least trying to make the corner. I'm going to say racing incident for that one. However, now that I've looked at it a couple of times, this was, well, I don't know, this was sort of a repeat of T1. He's turning in, you're turning in like he's not there. I think you're both just being a little bit too aggressive. On a circuit that doesn't give you much room to make a mistake, if you race like that with people, you're going to end up damaged, and it's going to ruin both your races. I know that, like, it's a competitive scenario, so no one wants to lose to the other guy. I think that both of you could just be a bit more clever in what you're doing. I mean, you're fighting for P8 and P7. Oh, we've got a GT Sport one. This is a final lap. It is the Beetle Boys, the SpongeBob car. Oh, I hope it survives. There's a cat on the inside. Oh. Cross center moment. Oh, and he's round. That spin was very weird. I mean, are you turning in for the first chicane here? This is another case of you both being a bit stupid, I think. This is a Senna-esque dive up the inside. There is a gap there. He is going into it. You then turn across whilst he's braking. That's a big no-no. We call that moving under braking. Is that the chicane? Or is this the chicane? Because you were turning in as if you were going for the first chicane, which says to me that you were blocking this guy. Big block to the inside when he's already committed to the corner. I'd say if anyone's at fault, it is mostly the SpongeBob car because of that block there. But like a lot of these, it is the last lap, so I understand the lunge, but like it's just a bit desperate. It's a bit desperate. Like, not much is going to happen outside the contact. I have no idea what happened there. Oh shit. That was just a GT Sport moment, I think, or a GT7 moment, but yeah. Odd one. And the last one. Was this overtake legal? He's not sure it's within the law, but he's proud of it. I've got a lot of room for that. So we're in F2 cars, coming down the bottom here. Oh my god, the double. Was that the overtake there? Because that's legal, it's just terrifying. I mean, yeah, it is 100% legal Just dodgy as fuck. You're lucky you didn't get taken out there, but good move, mate. Thing is, in moves like that, when they work, you're a hero. When they don't, you're a fucking idiot. So, you're a hero today. Enjoy your heroism. But that, guys, was another round of clips from the Sim Racing Stewards subreddit. As always, go and check out the Sim Racing Stewards subreddit. Go see what they're about. Of course, remember that people coming from this video, you are guests in that community, so be kind and be nice. And if you enjoyed this video or learned anything from it, feel free to tap that like button and subscribe as well to discuss these incidents. If there's something you don't understand or you disagree with me, feel free to put that down below. And we can keep that discussion going in the comments. Take care, have an awesome day. See you all next time. So, as I said at the start, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. And if you haven't heard of Squarespace, then you've not been on YouTube very long, I guess. Squarespace can give you the tools to create a powerful and beautiful online platform for your website or community. You can connect with your audience and generate revenue through gated members-only content, manage your members and send email communications, as well as leverage audience insights, all on one easy-to-use platform. Squarespace also includes powerful blogging tools, as well as new extensions. These new third-party tools can help you manage inventory, promote products, and streamline bookkeeping, which is good when your brain is as small as mine. So go to squarespace.com for your free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/JimmyBroadbent to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.